Barry Shepperd, his question was, I'd like to know what pains them, i.e. prep center owners, about businesses who send products into them, so then I can get the best level of service from them. So yeah, I think that's a great question. I mean, what would you say, guys, would make your life easier, if that makes sense? You know, what's important and what would kind of make things easier at your end?
So we essentially always just say at Fastpack, we just have two rules. We just get it in your inventory. So put it in your inventory just so we know that you can sell it. We think just as a baseline as well, for selling on Amazon, it's really good practice to be making sure everything can go into your inventory. And then the second one for us is just make sure it goes on your order sheet. A little bit of terminology there, just in terms of using a prep center. Sometimes you get given an order sheet, which is essentially the way that you tell the prep centers what's coming in. So they are literally our two rules. We do try and work with customers though that don't go too unbelievably oversized. We have had the odd fridge and a lawnmower sent to us, where, especially if you can imagine, when we were in a 400 square foot,
you got those down okay? Yeah, you got them chipped off okay. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we work in a very bespoke way with our clients. So if there are kind of little changes they want to be making, we're able to easily sit down and kind of implement them. And I think it just kind of goes back to that communication piece of just making sure everyone's on the same page.
Can I just jump in? It's a great question from Barry. I don't know how the rest of the boys work, but we have had clients that have sent us stuff that we know is fake and we've then sacked them. So getting authenticity of what it is you're selling will stop you having issues further down the line, because it isn't your prep center's fault when you lose your account because you have been caught selling fakes. So check everything of where you're getting it, and the sources are impeccable. Because if you spent forever building an amazing business and I'm trying to think of a polite word, mess up, that's a polite way of putting it, by getting stuff sent in. Now, I could spot they were fake a mile away, and if I can spot it, then so will Amazon.
I feel that, you know, all our businesses, they may be unique in the way that we're building them, and we may have different systems, but the outcome is the same. We want to support our partners and the sellers that we work with. So we try to develop our services to be optimized for that, whether that is communication, speed, quality control. And for us, just like Dan said, if we receive any orders, any goods that are not on the prep master sheet, then we have no way of actually checking them in and completing the process and the service that we are wanting to achieve. The same for when we attempt to create a shipment in Amazon and it's maybe not listed within Amazon, and therefore that also stops the process and the service from achieving the goal what we are, you know, building for you to achieve. So I think it's just a case of, again, working with each other, having a great understanding on the system of the prep service that you're working with, and really, yes, if you've got any suggestions and improvements and things like that, then I think we're all open to them all the time, because that's the best way we can learn. But if we do have any operation procedures that we want to that we've set up to help your business, for us, we really obviously care about you, and we want to get your products in and out as quickly as possible. So if we have products that come into the warehouse which we weren't expecting, or the control which prevents us creating the shipment, it obviously comes to a standstill, which is then preventing us being able to do what you want us to do for you. So I would say that is a great question, Barry.
I'd agree with that as well. The listing of the products to make sure that they are in the inventory. Also, we use a shared spreadsheet for receiving goods. So that can be a similar thing. Products just on the purchase log. So there's nothing for us to, you know, mark as received. That's another thing. But one thing that I've noticed is, especially with the not listing on the Sell Central, it happens from time to time. It's going to happen. But especially with the sellers that are getting to a certain volume that use VAs quite a bit, I think if you could really home in on spending a bit more time with your VAs, just to ensure, obviously the business is growing, there's more volume, things like this, but just to ensure that your VAs are actually not getting too overwhelmed and being able to get everything listed as whatever your system is, you know, at the right time, so that, because otherwise I think, as Kev said, it really does slow down the process. You're receiving the goods, getting a shipment ready. Oh, we can't send this, right? We'll have to store it in whatever zone. And yeah, it sets it all back. But yeah, I'd agree with all that.